Of the 9 people in the studio here today, only one of them can win up to £10,000. The rest of them will leave with nothing, as round by round they are voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 9 people in the studio here today could win up to £10,000. They don't know each other, however, if they want to win the prize money, they'll have to work as a team, but 8 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round we lose the player voted as the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm David, I'm 31, and I'm a car salesman.
Hello, I'm Trevor, I'm 50, and I'm a construction worker.
I'm Jillian, I'm 24, and I work at a bank.
I'm Vince, I'm 18, and I'm a college student.
Hello, I'm Derek, I'm 23, and I'm a quizmaster.
I'm Samantha, I'm 25, and I'm currently unemployed.
My name is Harrison, I'm 62, and I'm a teacher.
I'm Linda, I'm 71, and I'm a retired nurse.
Hi, I'm Mitchell, I'm 39, and I'm a restaurant owner.
Now the rules: in each round you have a target of £1,000. The aim of the game is to reach your £1,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way to get to your target is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. If you get a question wrong, you'll break the chain and lose all the money in that chain, but if you say the word bank before the question is asked, the money is safe, but you'll start a new chain from scratch. Remember, at the end of the round only money that has been banked can be taken forward into the next round. In round 1 there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. And that's you, David. Let's play the weakest link. First question is for £20. Start the clock. David 2. And an argument without agreeing is to agree to what?
Disagree.
Correct, Trevor. What drug is used in coffee and energy drinks to give you the energy?
Caffeine.
Correct, Jillian. Which bank's coin is the smallest, 1p or 5p?
5p.
Correct, Vince. In the 2000s cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants, what fruit does SpongeBob live in?
A pineapple.
Correct, Derek. What is the chemical formula for water?
H2O.
Correct, Samantha.
Bank.
The Phantom of the Opera is from which European country?
France.
Correct, Harrison. In geography, Cardiff is the capital of which country?
Wales.
Correct, Linda. In the nursery rhyme Hey Diddle Diddle, what animal laughed to see such fun?
The little dog.
Correct, Mitchell. In a road, what do Americans call a pavement?
The sidewalk.
Correct, David. How many years are in a century?
100.
Correct, Trevor. What is the name of a tree that sheds its leaves?
Deciduous.
Correct, Jillian. What does AI stand for?
Artificial intelligence.
Correct, Vince. Which disco group had a song called YMCA?
Village People.
Correct, Derek.
Bang.
Which alphabet is that? Okay. You reached and banked your £1,000 target. That money will go through to the next round, but one of you will not. Who is very untrustworthy? Who is already showing signs of weakness in this first round? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In this impressive first round, David is the strongest link, since he answered his 2 questions correctly first, despite not getting any questions wrong. Samantha is the weakest link statistically, but who will be the first to go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Samantha.
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 Linda.
Samantha.
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 Trevor. Remind us what you do.
I'm a construction worker.
What do you build?
We mainly just build houses and apartments.
And how long have you been building houses for?
I think about 4 years, or maybe 5.
So why have you voted for Samantha? Don't trust her.
I voted for Samantha because she was very hesitant in one of her questions, and she banked far too early as well.
Derek. So you are a so-called quizmaster?
Yeah, well, I like to think that.
So what makes you a quizmaster, then?
Well, I'm very good at quizzes. I win most at the time if I competing against people.
Really? Well, do you think you're gonna win the weakest link, then?
Maybe. We shall see.
Indeed we will. So Derek, why Samantha?
I voted for Samantha because if she didn't bank so early we would have reached our target much quicker, and it took her a very long time to answer which country was Phantom of the Opera from. Which isn't a hard question, by the way.
Samantha. You've upset the team by banking too early and being very hesitant, so much so that they voted for you unanimously. Well, it's time to go back to looking for a job. With 8 votes you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I am devastated to be voted off in the first round, and especially knowing that everyone in the team voted for me. I would like to see Derek be voted off next, because he's so full of himself and overly cocky.
Round 2. You managed to reach your target in the last round, so you have £1,000 in the bank. There are 8 of you left. We're cutting 10 seconds from the clock. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's David. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. David and the Animal Kingdom. Do otters have web feet?
Yes.
Correct, Trevor. Which capacity is larger, 1 terabyte or 1 zettabyte?
1 terabyte?
1 zettabyte, Jillian. In maths, what's 10% of 12,000?
1,200.
Correct, Vince. The Great Fire of London happened in which century?
16th century.
Nope, 17th century, Derek. What is another name for a snowstorm?
A blizzard.
Correct, Harrison. Who was the author of The Jungle Book?
Rudyard Kipling.
Correct, Linda. What month is Thanksgiving Day celebrated on?
November.
Correct, Mitchell. If someone is cowardly or not very brave, they are called a big girl's what?
Blouse.
Correct, David. Which rock band had the song Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
Green Day.
Correct, Trevor.
Bank.
What is the black flag with a skull and crossbones called?
Jolly Roger.
Correct, Jillian. In chemistry, what element is represented by the letter I?
Iron.
Nope, iodine. Vince. In geography, Leon, Nice and Bijan are places in which European country?
Pass.
France. Derek. In the children's TV program Fireman Sam, what is the name of his fire engine?
Jupiter.
Correct, Harrison. Which star sign is represented by twins?
Gemini.
Correct, Linda. What gas is laughing gas?
Helium.
Nope, nitrous oxide. Mitchell. The films Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction were directed by who?
Quentin Tarantino.
Correct, David. The Richter scale measures the multitude of what natural phenomena?
Earthquakes.
Correct, Trevor. How many pins are in a standard UK plug socket?
3.
Correct, Jillian.
Bank.
What medal is awarded to the person who finishes in 3rd place?
Bronze.
Correct, Vince. Which film did Michael Caine said the famous line, "You were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off"?
The Italian Job.
Correct, Derek. In the highway code, what shape are order road signs?
Circle.
Correct, Harrison. The
Bank.
tango originated from which South American country?
Argentina.
Correct, Linda. In Washington, D.C., what does the D.C. stand for?
District of Columbia.
Correct, Mitchell. In
Bank.
the video game Tomb Raider, what is the occupation of Lara Croft?
Archaeologist.
Correct, David.
Bank.
The Disney movie Bambi was released in which decade?
1950s.
Time's up. The correct answer was 1940s. And it looks like you went down the drain, team, because in that round, you only banked £570. Who must you ditch from the team? Who is wasting your time? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In the second round, Harrison is the strongest link, since he answered all of his questions correctly and banked some money for the team. Vince is the weakest link, since he got the most wrong answers. But will the team have noticed that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Vince.
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 Jillian.
Vince. Vince.
Julian.
Linda.
Jillian. So you work at a bank?
Yep, I certainly do.
And what exactly do you do in the bank?
I basically give people the money that they wish to take out of their accounts.
I bet you must find that really exciting, don't you?
Not really, it can be very repetitive and tiresome.
Well, at least you're not a chemist. Because you don't know the difference between iron and iodine.
It's because I hate chemistry. I never found it interesting when I was at school.
What do you find interesting then?
I was always interested in books and literature, and I also like acting.
Then why didn't you get a job that was related to these things?
I was really desperate to get a job, so I picked the job that I knew I was good for.
Okay. So Jillian, why Vince?
Because he got 2 questions wrong, and I think he was the only one to get 2 wrong, so I thought he was the weakest link.
David, remind me what you do.
I'm a car salesman.
What kind of cars do you sell?
I sell brand new and second-handed vehicles.
Have you ever sold any sports cars?
We've sold a few sports cars, but not very much. We mostly sell cars that are common on the roads.
What do you mean by that?
Well, cars that you see on the roads every day, like Vauxhall, Peugeot, Fords, and BMWs. Like those sort of cars.
I see. So let's just say that I really needed a car. Would you sell me a good one?
Of course, we receive very little complaints about our cars. We make sure all our cars are in excellent condition, from the outside and inside too.
Alright. So David, why have you voted for Vince?
I voted for Vince, because he got 2 wrong, and he is starting to feel the pressure, and I think it's all over for him.
Indeed it is. Vince, the 18-year-old college student, who doesn't know what century the Great Fire of London happened. With 5 votes you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I am absolutely kicking myself. I knew it was the 17th century. I had no idea why I said 16th. I think Linda might be going next, because she seems very nervous.
Round 3. You have in the bank £1,570. You're down to 7 players. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Harrison. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Harrison, in Greek mythology, who was the god of love?
Cupid.
Correct, Linda. Which music group did Diana Ross used to be in?
Pass.
The Supremes, Mitchell. Which band had the songs Pinball Wizard and Bubba O'Reilly?
The Who.
Correct, David. The Rover's Return is a pub in which TV soap opera?
EastEnders?
Nope, Coronation Street. Trevor, how many feet is 360 inches?
300 feet.
30 feet, Trevor. Jillian, what H is a condition where the body gets to an extremely low temperature?
Hypothermia.
Correct, Derek. In the movie Taxi Driver, which actor said, "You talking to me?"
That's Robert De Niro.
Correct, Harrison. In golf, what are the sand pits called?
Bunkers.
Correct, Linda. Is it true that lightning never strikes twice in the same place?
Yes.
No. Mitchell, in geography, what's the capital of Hungary?
Budapest.
Correct, David.
Bang.
In motorsport, what's the name of the car that slows down the competing cars if there's an obstruction on the track?
Safety car.
Correct, Trevor. In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, what creature was late?
The rabbit?
Correct, Jillian. Complete the phrase, when life gives you lemons, make what?
Lemonade.
Correct, Derek. In the Beano comic strips, what's the name of Dennis the Menace's dog?
Nash.
Correct, Harrison. In video games, the 2650, 200 and Jaguar are consoles made by which company?
Atari.
Correct, Linda. Which orange soft drink is known as the drink of Scotland?
Iron Brew.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
What pea is a container filled with candy that children try to smash
Pinata.
Correct, David. What's the name of the robot character from Futurama?
Bender.
Correct, Trevor.
Bang.
Judaism originated from which Middle Eastern country?
Iran.
Israel, Trevor. Jillian, lasagna is associated to which cartoon cat?
Garfield.
Correct, Derek. Who composed the music for the 1995 Disney movie Toy Story?
Randy Newman.
Correct, Harrison. In astronomy, what N is an exploding star?
Nova.
Correct, Linda. If A is Alpha and Z is Zulu, what is S?
Sierra.
Time's up. Sierra was the correct answer, and you were in time. And you continue to slowly make your way down the drain, team. You only banked £520. Who is making you fall down the drain? Who has an insignificant amount of knowledge? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Mitchell is the strongest link, since he got all of his questions correct, and banked £450 for the team. Trevor is the weakest link, since he got the least correct answers. But who will be the next to go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Linda.
Linda.
Trevor.
Trevor.
Linda.
Trevor.
Linda.
Mitchell. Tell me, what do you do for a living?
I'm a restaurant owner.
And how long have you been owning your restaurant?
For 12 years. I've been owning my restaurant since 2006.
Have you been growing your beard since 2006 as well?
No, it's just my beard grows in very quickly. I only shaved it 2 weeks ago.
I guess mine's grows in quickly a little as well. So tell me more about your restaurant.
My restaurant is called Mitch's Italian Diner. Like the name suggests, we cook Italian dishes such as spaghetti, pizzas, lasagna, and other dishes.
Do you get a lot of positive feedback from the customers in your diner?
We sure do. Everyone that comes to our diners loves our food, and they always compliment us about our good service.
So why have you voted for Linda? Is it because of her age?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't care if she was very old or young. Age doesn't matter. I voted for Linda because she got 2 questions wrong, and she is very nervous, and I thought she was the weakest link.
Well, you thought wrong. Because she wasn't the weakest link in this round. Harrison. What kind of teacher are you?
I'm a middle school teacher. I teach chemistry and physics.
And how long have you been teaching?
For 20 years.
Did you teach any different subjects before you taught chemistry and physics?
Nope. I've been teaching chemistry and physics since I first started teaching.
You would think teaching the same subjects for 20 years can be a bit boring, don't you think?
No, not at all. I love chemistry and physics, especially chemistry. I was fascinated by it when I was young.
I see. So Harrison, why have you voted for Linda?
I voted for Linda because I thought she was the weakest link, and she had a bad round. But of course I did before you told Mitchell that he was wrong, so I actually don't know who was the weakest link.
Well, looks like you have certainly been paying attention. Not. Trevor. Do you know who was the weakest link in this round?
Nope, I'm not sure who was.
Have a guess.
Was it David?
Nope, not even close. I'll give you a hint. His name begins with the letter T.
Is it me?
Correct. You were the worst player in that round, and being a builder, and yet you couldn't answer a question on measurements correctly. But it's votes that count. Linda, the 71-year-old retired nurse, who hasn't heard of Diana Ross and the Supremes, and still believe that lightning never strikes twice in the same place. With 4 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Well, I'm a little irritated being voted off, and knowing that I wasn't the weakest link in that round. And I think Trevor will be voted off next, because he is very hesitant and he's getting easy questions wrong.
Round 4. So far you have in the bank £2,090 out of a possible 3,000. 6 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. You now only have 2.5 minutes. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Mitchell. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Mitchell, which month has the most letters in its name?
January. No, September.
No, I can only accept your first answer. September is the correct answer. David, in the UK, which color are the front registration plates of a car?
White.
Correct, Trevor. An image that plays tricks with your eyes and mind is called an optical what?
Don't know.
Illusion. Jillian, which chocolate bar has the slogan "Take a break"?
Kit Kat.
Correct, Derek. Which car manufacturer shares its name with the surname of an electrical engineer?
Tesla.
Correct, Harrison. What B are small decorative flags tied on a string?
Bunting.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
Which painter painted The Last Supper?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Correct, David. If men are from the planet Mars, which planet are women from?
Saturn.
Nope, Venus. Trevor, which song by Oasis has the opening line "Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you"?
Don't look back in anger.
Nope, Wonderwall. Jillian, in the animal kingdom, what are animals that eat plants and meat called?
Omnivores.
Correct, Derek. In the children's TV program Thomas the Tank Engine, what's the name of the fictional island that they live on?
Sodor.
Correct, Harrison. In food, which chicken dish shares its name with the European capital city?
Kiev.
Correct, Mitchell. Bluetooth replaced which wireless technology?
Infrared.
Correct, David.
Bang.
Which pop duo had the songs "Move Your Feet" and "Shake Your Coconuts"?
Junior Senior.
Correct, Trevor. In maths, what's 95 times 8?
760?
Correct,
Yes!
Jillian. In science, what letters represents hydrochloric acid?
HCl.
Correct, Derek.
Bang.
Who was the third man to walk on the moon?
Pete Conrad.
Correct, Harrison.
Bang.
How often do the Olympics occur?
Every 4 years.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
In which holiday is trick-or-treating associated with?
Halloween.
Correct, David.
Bang.
In which year of the 2000s was the DreamWorks movie Shrek released?
2001.
Correct, Trevor. And pencils graphite replaced what metal? Time's up. The correct answer, which certainly wasn't in the tip of your tongue, Trevor, is lead. And the money you bank team is getting lower and lower each round. In that round you banked a very mediocre £460. Who was dazed and confused? Who was just completely useless? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the first time in the game, Derek is the strongest link. The weakest link is Trevor again, because he got the most wrong answers. But who will be the next to go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Trevor.
David.
Trevor.
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 David. How well did you think your performance was in that round?
I know I could have done better, but still I think my performance was good.
I think you're giving yourself a little much credit, because you do think women come from Saturn instead of Venus.
I know, I feel quite silly for getting that question wrong. But hey, at least I only got one wrong.
From the entire game?
No, I remember getting a few wrong in the last 2 rounds.
Well, at least there's nothing wrong with your memory, because indeed you did get a few wrong. So David, why have you voted for Trevor?
Because he was definitely the weakest link in that round, because he is extremely hesitant. And I still remember that he thought I was the weakest link in the last round when I wasn't.
Okay. Derek. Still think you're a quizmaster?
Yeah, well I hope so. I seem to be doing well so far anyway.
Are you usually this confident?
Well I try to be, because I always think about the positives instead of the negatives.
And do you have a technique when you're playing quizzes?
In fact I do have a technique.
And what's that?
My technique is basically staying completely calm and relaxed. Because then you won't be under pressure, and you're likely to think of the answer quickly as well.
It seems to be working. So Derek, why Trevor?
Because he got the most questions wrong out of all of us, and like David said, he is very hesitant, and that question about how many feet is 360 inches still sticks to my mind. Because being a builder he should have answered that question correctly.
Trevor. The 50-year-old construction worker, whose general knowledge still needs some work to be done. You got quite a lot of questions wrong in this round, and David, Derek and the team have certainly had enough of you. Unanimously with 5 votes you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm so disappointed to be voted off, and I thought I was doing so well too. I hope Derek doesn't win, because he acts like such a know-it-all, and he has been getting on my nerves throughout the entire show.
Round 5. After continuing to fall down the drain team, you have in the kitty 2,550 pounds out of a possible 4,000. 5 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Derek. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Derek, in sport, which Six Nations rugby team has home games in Murrayfield Stadium?
Scotland.
Correct. Harrison. What word is put before black to mean a very dark shade of black?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What word is put before black to mean a very dark shade of black?
Jet.
Correct. Mitchell. In the fast food restaurant KFC, what does the F stand for?
Fried.
Correct. David.
Bang.
In geography, what's the capital of the state Utah?
Pass.
Salt Lake City. Jillian, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy are villains of which superhero?
Superman?
Nope, Batman. Derek, in food, what is the main ingredient in hummus?
Chickpeas.
Correct. Harrison. What game do Americans call checkers?
Drafts.
Correct. Mitchell. In the human body, what organ is infected by hepatitis?
The liver.
Correct. David. Which American president was involved with the Watergate scandal?
Richard Nixon.
Correct. Jillian. In books which
Bank.
Stephen King... No, it's too late to bank.
Sorry.
In books which Stephen King book is about a killer clown?
It?
Correct. Derek.
Bang.
In which year of the 1990s did the Soviet Union end?
1991.
Correct. Harrison. Which music group had the songs Pump It I Got a Feeling in My Humps?
Pass.
The Black Eyed Peas. Mitchell, what is the boiling point of water in the Fahrenheit scale?
212 degrees.
Correct. David. What's the name of the theme park in Blackpool?
Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Correct. Jillian.
Bank.
What is the main religion in India?
Hinduism.
Correct. Derek. In the Harry Potter films, which actor plays Hagrid?
Robbie Coltrane.
Correct. Harrison. Complete the famous phrase a rolling stone gathers no what?
Moss.
Correct. Mitchell. The River Clyde flows through which city in Scotland?
Edinburgh.
Nope. Glasgow. What are the 2 colors of the flag of Nigeria?
Green and black. No.
Nope. Green and white.
God's sake.
Jillian, in history the Korean War. Time's up. I cannot complete the question. So after getting rid of 4 supposedly weaker links, you are still getting worse each round. You banked £450. Who isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer? Who is the dummy that needs thumping? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the second time in the game, Derek is the strongest link, since he answered all of his questions correctly. David is the weakest link, since he got the most wrong answers. But whose game is over?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jillian.
Derek.
David.
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 Harrison. Why David?
Because he got 2 questions wrong, and he is feeling the pressure, and he definitely needs to go back to selling his cars, because it's all over for him.
It sure is. Mitchell. Don't know the difference between Edinburgh and Glasgow?
Yes, I do know the difference. It's just I thought it was Edinburgh, but obviously I wasn't right.
Indeed you were wrong. So tell me, Mitchell, why do you want to get rid of David the car salesman? Had enough of him?
I don't have anything against him, but I'm afraid he has definitely been falling apart, and I guess he has been very unlucky with most of his questions in the last couple rounds, but he was the weakest link, and he needs to go.
Fair enough. David, the pressure has certainly gotten to you in this round. You got the most wrong answers overall in the game, and just like Harrison said, it's all over for you and it's time to go back to selling cars. And indeed it is. With 3 votes you're the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm so disappointed to be voted off in this stage of the game. If I didn't mess up that Nigeria question, I'd still be in the game. I think Jillian will be voted off next, because she's starting to fall apart and being hesitant.
Round 6. £3,000 is what you have won in the bank so far. If you had been hitting your targets it would have been 5,000. 4 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Derek. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Derek, the 2003 film 8 Mile was based on the life of which rapper?
Eminem.
Correct. Harrison. In a standard manual car which pedal is in the middle?
Clutch?
Nope. Brake. Mitchell, in food meatballs are popular in which Scandinavian country?
Iceland.
Sweden. Mitchell.
Also it is.
Jillian, in darts how much points is an outer bullseye worth?
25.
Correct. Derek. Color blindness mostly affects people of which sex?
Males.
Correct. Harrison. If someone is very clumsy or reckless they are a bull in what shop?
A china shop.
Correct. Mitchell. In which 1970s sitcom has a Spanish waiter called Manuel?
Faulty Towers.
Correct. Jillian. Which female singer has a theme park called Dollywood?
Dolly Parton.
Correct. Derek. In maths how many degrees is the straight line?
180.
Correct. Harrison. What is an illusion of distant objects typically in a desert?
Mirage.
Correct. Mitchell.
Bang.
What movie does Bill Murray wake up in the same day over and over again?
Pass.
Groundhog Day. Jillian, which band has the songs Everybody Hurts and Shiny Happy People?
REM.
Correct. Derek. In sport what does MMA stand for?
Mixed martial arts.
Correct. Harrison. The movies Over the Hedge, Flushed Away and B-Movie are made by which animation studio?
DreamWorks.
Correct. Mitchell.
Bang.
In superstitions carrying a foot of which animal is considered to be
Rabbit.
lucky? Correct. Jillian.
Bank.
In language the Spanish word fiesta means what in English?
Pass.
Party. Derek, what reality TV show is a bunch of celebrities living in a house and they get evicted
Big
by...
Brother.
Correct. Harrison. Which children's TV program has the character Big Bird?
Sesame Street.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
Which 1996 film is about a girl with magical powers?
I can't remember.
Time's up. The correct answer is Matilda. You did slightly better in that round. You banked £520. Who is unworthy to continue? Who keeps on letting you down? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the third time in a row, Derek is the strongest link, since he got all of his questions correct and banked the most money for the team. Mitchell is the weakest link, since he got 3 incorrect answers. But have the team noticed that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Harrison.
Mitchell.
Jillian.
Jillian.
Mitchell. You are a restaurant owner, but yet you don't know which country are meatballs popular?
I'm completely embarrassed that I got that question wrong. I knew it was Sweden, it's just I didn't take my time to think.
Didn't you take your time to think about the other questions that you got wrong?
No, it's because I couldn't remember, or I simply didn't know.
So why have you voted for Jillian? Did you think she was the worst player in that round?
No, I knew I was the weakest link in this round, but I couldn't vote for myself, so I decided to vote for Jillian, because she got a question wrong, and she was hesitant.
Harrison. Why have you voted for Jillian?
Because she had a really bad round, she was very hesitant, and she got a question wrong.
Your performance wasn't much better. You also got a question wrong. You thought that the clutch pedal of a car is in the middle.
Well, that's because I don't drive. So I don't know much about cars.
And that's a very good thing that you're not driving, because you'd be completely useless, don't you think?
Like I said, I don't know much about cars, so you're probably right.
I know I'm right. Is there any other reason that you voted for Jillian?
Not really, apart from when she's gone, it's only the men left, so that's why I didn't want to vote for Mitchell.
Really? Well, that's a perfect reason to vote someone off, isn't it? Well, Mitchell was by far the worst player in that round, but it's votes that count. Jillian. Looks like Mitchell and Harrison has certainly had enough of you. They think you're too hesitant, and Harrison only wants guys left in the team. Well, I'm afraid it's time to go back to your job at the bank. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I am absolutely fuming to be voted off by these two pigs when I wasn't even the weakest link in that round. I think Derek will win, and I hope he does, because Mitchell and Harrison don't deserve anything at all. Especially Harrison.
Round 7. You have in the kitty £3,520 out of a possible 6,000. There are now only 3 of you left, and we still have Derek the quizmaster, Harrison the science teacher, and Mitchell the restaurant owner. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Derek. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Derek, in the sitcom Father Ted, which actor plays Ted?
Dermot Morgan.
Correct. Harrison, what's the name of the famous song by Boy Meets Girl?
Pass.
Waiting for a star to fall. Mitchell, the saying "you can't beat a bit of bully" is associated to which game show?
Bullseye.
Correct. Derek. Which video game series has the character Johnny Gat?
Saints Row.
Correct. Harrison. What S is text put on the screen for people who have hard of hearing?
Subtitles.
Correct. Mitchell.
Bang.
Which day in November is Bonfire Night celebrated?
10th of November.
Nope, 5th of November. Derek, The Tale of Mrs. Tiggy Winkle is by which children's book author?
Beatrix Potter.
Correct. Harrison. Which English soccer team has a cannon on its badge?
Arsenal.
Correct. Mitchell.
Bang.
In geography, what's the official language of Iceland?
I don't know.
Icelandic. Derek, in technology, what does LCD stand for?
Liquid crystal display.
Correct, Harrison. Which 1999 film does Bruce Willis stars in a movie about a boy who sees ghosts?
The Sixth Sense.
Correct, Mitchell. What chef has a TV show called Kitchen Nightmares?
Gordon Ramsay.
Correct, Derek. In the film version of The Wind and the Willows, which actor voiced Mr. Toad?
David Jason.
Correct, Harrison. In what astronomical body is the Sea of Tranquility?
The Moon.
Correct, Mitchell. Which American activist had the I Have a Dream speech?
Martin Luther King.
Correct, Derek. Which car manufacturer has the Accord Civic and
Honda.
Correct, Harrison. The soap opera EastEnders first aired in which decade?
The 80s.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
The famous Four Candles sketch is performed by which comedy duo?
The Two Ronnies.
Correct, Derek.
Bang.
The lie detector is also known as
The
what?
polygraph.
Correct, Harrison.
Bang.
Time's up. And that was a very good effort, team. You only just missed your target in that round. You banked £990 out of the £1,000 that was available in that round. Now what's interesting, team, is in round 8 you get the chance to treble what you bank. So if you keep up with this good performance, you can win £3,000 in that round. But the question is, do you have the decency and courage to vote off the weakest link?
In this very impressive round, Derek is the strongest link because he answered all of his questions correctly. Mitchell is the weakest link again. However, he did bank £950 for the team. Will that save him from the final vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Mitchell.
Derek.
Derek.
Mitchell, why would you want to get rid of the best player in the game?
Well, to get a better chance of winning the money, I guess.
Oh, so you're being a coward is what you're saying, huh?
Yes. Derek is way too good, so I think I would have a better chance facing Harrison in the final round.
Well, that's just very cowardly of you to do that. So Harrison, not only you're sexist, but you are also a coward too?
Well, it's obvious that we don't stand a chance against a quizmaster, so I am keeping Mitchell in the final, because I do stand a chance against him.
But do you realize that you could win a lot more money if you keep the strongest player in the game?
Yeah, but it's winning the money that matters, so that's why I went for the tactical option.
Well, judging by the option you have chosen, they certainly didn't teach bravery in your school. Unfortunately, it's votes that count. Derek, to be honest, I was skeptical at first, saying that you were a quizmaster, but you have certainly proven that title in today's game. You didn't get a single question wrong, which makes you the best player in today's game, and the best contestant on the weakest link. But I'm afraid Harrison and Mitchell are cowards and don't want to face you in the final. So I wish you the very best of luck. Goodbye.
I was kind of expecting that to happen, but you know what? I'm just happy that I have proven myself to be a quizmaster, and I have enjoyed my time on the weakest link. If I were to say who would win, I'd say Harrison, because I think he's stronger than Mitchell.
Round 8. After only just missing your target in the last round, you now have in your bank £4,510. Just the two of you left. You now only have 90 seconds, but whatever you win will be trebled and added to the winnings of the previous rounds, so £3,000 is at stake. You voted off the strongest link, so we'll start with the second strongest. And that's Harrison. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Harrison, what B is used by celebrities to make themselves look younger?
I have no idea.
Botox. Mitchell, in the children's puppet TV show Susie and Sweep, what kind of creature is Sue?
Dog.
Nope, panda. Harrison, what year is the next leap year?
2022.
Nope,
Oh, come on.
2020. Which pop group had the song We Like to Party?
Pass.
The Venga Boys. Harrison, Hanoi is the capital of which Asian country?
Vietnam.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
The Berlin Wall was taken down in what year?
1989.
Correct, Harrison.
Bang.
What is the name of the ball in badminton?
Shuttlecock.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
What else is a card game that can only be played by one player?
Pass.
Solitaire. Which Scottish actor played the main character in The Full Monty?
Robert Carlyle.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
How many weeks are in 4 years?
208.
Correct, Harrison. In chemistry, which element is represented by the letter U?
Uranium.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
Which singer had the songs I Got You Under My Skin and Come Fly With Me?
Frank Sinatra.
Correct, Harrison.
Bang.
In London, what's the name of the Ferris wheel?
The London Eye.
Correct, Mitchell.
Bang.
Which fighting game series has the characters Ken and Ryu?
Streets of Rage.
Time's up. The correct answer was Street Fighter. And you bank £170. We'll treble that and add it to the total winnings of today. So that makes the total prize money of today of £5,020. But only one of you can take that money away. We'll have a head-to-head round I'll ask alternating questions best of 5. Whoever gets the most correct wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5 we'll go to sudden death until we have a winner. So Harrison and Mitchell. For £5,020. Let's play. The weakest link. Harrison, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice to who goes first.
I'll go first.
Harrison. The phrase, something old, something new, and something blue, is associated to what ceremony?
Weddings.
That's the correct answer. Mitchell. Yuri Gagarin was the first man in space. But in what year did he go to space?
1961.
That's the correct answer. Harrison. The 1995 film Braveheart is based on which 13th century Scottish knight and freedom fighter?
William Wallace.
That's the correct answer. Mitchell. In the 1970s, the songs Boogie Shoes, That's the Way I Like It, and Give It Up was by which band?
I don't know.
The correct answer is KC and the Sunshine Band. Harrison. In chemistry, what metal produces a very intense, white bright light when burning?
That would be magnesium.
That's the correct answer. Mitchell. In which fairy tale does a princess pricks her finger on a spindle and falls asleep for 100 years?
Sleeping Beauty.
That's the correct answer. So far you are in the lead. Harrison. In mental health, what does the disorder OCD stand for?
Oh God.
Is that an answer?
No, I'm trying to remember it. Nope, I can't remember.
The correct answer is obsessive compulsive disorder.
Oh, for God's sake.
Mitchell. The soccer player Zlatan Ibrahimovic used to play for which country's national team?
Sweden.
That's the correct answer. Harrison. Which Scottish newspaper shares its name with the star in the solar system?
The Sun.
That's the correct answer. Mitchell. You need to answer this question correctly to stay in the game. What's the name of the television program hosted by Ant and Dec and aired on ITV that features comedy sketches and pranks on studio members?
Saturday Night Takeaway.
That's the correct answer. So after 5 questions each your scores have tied. So now we go into a sudden death situation. The questions will continue in pairs. So Harrison, if you get your question right, then Mitchell will have to answer his question correctly. Or else you win. And Harrison get your question wrong, and if Mitchell gets his right, he wins. So, Harrison and Mitchell, let's play sudden death. Harrison, in the 1996 film Trainspotting, which song by Iggy Pop is in the opening scene?
Pass.
The correct answer is Lust for Life. Mitchell, in which square is the monument of Admiral Nelson, who died in 1805?
Trafalgar Square.
That's the correct answer. That means Mitchell, you are today's strongest link and you go away with £5,020. Harrison, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm absolutely gutted to have come this close to winning the money, and then messing up.
I can't believe I won. I thought Harrison would defeat me in the sudden death round.
I swear if I had let Mitchell go first instead, I would have won for sure.
I've enjoyed the experience, and I can't wait to spend my prize money on new kitchen appliances.